In today's video, I'm going to be going over how to make your first 5 million coins on Hypixel Skyblock, like what types of flips you want to do, everything you need to do to make your first 5 million coins in the game from my relatively brand new account with few skills or collections unlocked. If you guys enjoyed today's video, subscribe and I'll make a bunch more. If this video does well, I'll make a part 2, like going to 10 mil, 50 mil, etc, etc, etc. But this video has to do well, so if you want to see more, subscribe. Either way, without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, based on this point, I'm assuming you have about maybe like 100k to 500k, 1,000 coins in your account, and maybe access to Bazaar. Somewhere in that range, you have some money, but not really anything that you know what to do with. Now, let's just say you have like about 100, 150k. So I'm going to start with 150 or 175,000 coins. With this money, there's a few things you're going to want to do. One of the first flips I recommend doing is doing a Rejuvenate Flip. This is super productive early game because you might be able to like snag some pretty cheap books, market right now, and sell for more. Now, this is once again a highly good method. However, it does have some elements of luck, as you need to be able to be quick and buy the Rejuvenate books before anyone else has the opportunity to. But another good thing with this is that the market itself is very volatile, meaning you see a bunch of new Rejuvenate books on EH all the time. It just might take a little bit. Another flip you can do is to flip Wisdom or Ultimate Wise. The price of these books is really low, or is really just up to variance. So, for example, I bought that Wisdom book for 130k. The lowest Wisdom is now 190k, meaning I made a 160k flip in no time whatsoever. So 60,000 coins once that sells, which it will because it's the lowest bin, profited like that. You can do this probably to up to like 500k or 400,000 coins, somewhere in that range. So now let's say that you've been doing the Ultimate Wise, Wisdom, Rejuvenate flips for a little bit, and now you've got like 400,000k, somewhere in that range in your purse, and you're ready to try some bigger flips. First off, it is still a really good idea to do these flips because they make a lot of money. Like, honestly, even late games, like sometimes with me with my 200 mil on my account, I will still do these flips because they are very good. You can grab some books and instantly flip them for so much profit. Now let's talk about Bazaar a little bit. Now, on Bazaar, there's a few good items, but the best website that you used to be able to use, stonks.gg, is down. Why? I don't know. However, it is now unavailable for the foreseeable future. So probably forever, is what I meant by that. Some flips I recommend doing is trying to pick off any flips that have good high profit margin yields. Simple, this is a 6 profit, but you can buy 1,000 for, I mean, it's kind of expensive. So trying to find good profits. Generally speaking, the combat collection, you can get some pretty good flips. You got a 50 coin flip there, you've got some pretty good flips. The one flip I do recommend is Sludge Juice. Reason being, it has a very high economy and a very high profit margin. If I buy 160,000 coins, I bought for 291,000 coins. Once this order sells, fills, which it should be pretty quickly. I mean, now not always, but generally speaking, these do sell pretty quick. If you just put up some bins for like 160k, doing something like that with your money, you'll be able to get it just like that. My buy order for 160 Sludge Juice was able to fill. So I spent 291,000 coins, and now I can sell this for 315,000 coins, meaning I made a 30,000 coin profit flip. Once you have this money, I'd recommend doing this flip, and with your excess money or putting your money towards Ultimate Wise and Wisdom flips. And then once you have your excess money, I recommend pumping them into Sludge Juice, just so you can have some constant flips going, because honestly, it's going to take a little bit for the buy order and sell order to fill. Not always, but generally speaking, it's not going to be instant or as nearly as fast as Wisdom or any other flip like that. Another really good flip you can do is the Pick Nombus flip. Now, the reason this is so good is because people put up Pick Nombuses for very low all the time. For example, that was a pretty good steal. Reason being is like if you look like the average price of a 5,000 used Pick Nombus, we can see it's at like, honestly, about like 300,000 coins right here. However, people put them up for a lot cheaper because they're looking at the Pick Nombus price with 1 use, 2 use, 3 use, etc. So this is a pretty good profit in Rejuvenate Flip you can do. It does make a good amount of money, to be honest. However, it does take longer to sell than Ultimate, Wise, and Wisdom books. But doing a combination of this, Wise, Wisdom, Rejuvenate, just browsing the H and finding a book that looks kind of low or out of place, like browsing like, okay, this book's out of place, and then buying it and putting it back up on the H, is a really good way to get some early money flowing and rolling into your bank account. Another flip that usually works is Craftable Items. I'm blanking the name what to call them right now, but this is like LSARIs, Jolly Pink Giant Rocks, those items, right? So let's take a look at LSAR. Profit margin instantly right there. That got bought out, but you see the point. It's going for 200k, that was going for 100k. That's a 100k flip right there, instantly I just tabbed on. You can also look at some auctions, but there's usually never anything on for anything good. But just going and seeing if there's any good flips and buying them can be good. Same thing with the Jolly Pink. Really anything, saying, okay, yo, that's like a 25k flip, etc, etc, etc. Even eventually moving on to Diamantes handles. However, these are more expensive, and I spelled that wrong. So Diamantes handles, for example, there could be some decent flips that could put up on AH. So doing the giant crafting is what I want to call them, or giant flipping. We take items dropped by giants. So you've got Jelly Pink Giant, Bigfoot's Lasso, LSARIs, and Diamantes handles. You can grab some good flips on that. You can make a bunch of profit. Now these are generally speaking all early game methods. However, they do still make a bunch of money. One of the last ones I'm going to be going over is Rejuvenate Flipping. Now I know I've already gone over this. However, this is a different type. Let's just say each Rejuvenate book, on average, goes for 30,000 coins. Because I want to say that's about average if you're looking, generally speaking. If I get a Rejuvenate book from a chest, I'm putting it for 30,000 coins. Because I know it's going to sell. It's going to sell. It's really like, it's not going to be overkill, it's not going to be underkill. It's going to be a good price, people are going to buy it. This is where you craft up the book into a higher rarity. So you need 2 Rejuvenate books, 2 Rejuvenate 1 books, Rejuvenate 2, etc, etc, etc. It ends up costing you 16 Rejuvenate 1 books for a Rejuvenate 5 book. Once again, if let's just say they're at 30,000 coins per, that means it's going to cost you 480,000 coins for that book. However, if we go up here and look at the cheapest Rejuvenate book on AH, we can see that it's going for 800,000 coins, meaning that's 320,000 coin profit flip as of right now. Now the price might vary and change, so use your judgment and check prices beforehand. However, this is a really big profit margin, and people buy Rejuvenate books pretty often because there's something that is necessary and required. You can also do this and try it. Let's just say the market for like normal Rejuvenate books, like Rejuvenate 1, is super busy. You can browse and see if you can get any snags from Rejuvenate 2 books. So what I like to do is just run my, I want to say hand, but like my cursor through all these books. And if the hotbox or like the hotbar of the items change, that means it's Rejuvenate 2 books. So I'm just trying to find one to give you all an example. But if you're doing it, you will feel it if you do happen to find one. So just browsing. And for example, browsing, found one for Rejuvenate 2. This would be books going for 32,000 coins per. So it's half the clicks and it's making you still the same amount of money. Once again, buying Rejuvenate 2 books is a good idea if the price margin is right. If it's anything underneath 75,000 coins, I recommend buying it. If it's above, use your own judgment. But if it's anything below 75,000 coins, buy it. It's a good deal. Either way, that's going to be a quick recap or the summary for today's video. I mean, even in the time that I was just freaking recording, I made like 300,000 coins just showing off some of the methods. So these methods do definitely work. But use these to your own discretion, and I think you guys will make a bunch of money. I'll make a video to 10 mil, 20 mil, 15, etc, etc, etc. If you guys like this, subscribe. It's a requirement. See you guys next one. Peace.